Welcome to What's the Story, Hash Brown Glory, episode 2. Who'd have thunk it that we made it?
Made it past the first one.
2. And with a guy in some pink mink coat and high heels just flouncing on around us, we still keep laser focused on the food and the stories of incredible hospitality people. Before we introduce our second guest, we decided it would be a lovely thing to do to talk about our journey here to present day. So over the next few weeks, we're going to try and just snip it out.
Kind of
the journey of Rustic Kitchen.
The story of where it started, really. Where it started, what we've been through, the hurdles that we've hurdled.
All limboed.
Yes, exactly.
And it all started, well, the second reincarnation of Rustic Kitchen definitely started through boredom in lockdown, did it not? And
yeah, necessity really, wasn't it?
Yeah, feeling a bit lost. I remember calling Lee, stood up in my stand-up office in my wardrobe at home.
I was in the sunshine in the garden.
Were you? Were you in the sunshine?
I was.
Playing with the kids. I was still working.
Yeah.
Grafter. And
I didn't have a job.
Yeah, well, I was trying to fix Thomas the Caterer in terms of like just trying to make it a bit tighter and do some SEO stuff. And it was really boring, and I just wanted to get back to with the people, as everyone did. I remember calling you up after I watched this video of this guy that turned his unit into like a supermarket so people could get the toilet roll and pasta and pesto sauce. And I thought, well, I can do that. I thought I can do that, but I need a sidekick. It's definitely not a sidekick situation now, just to be clear on that. But I knew that Lee was at a loose end at that point, and we gave you a buzz.
Yeah. And it was always something we talked about, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
From back in the day, the hammer and pincers, even after that as well, when I was in development. And I started...
Egg a good chef back out of development into the real world so people could eat his food.
The real people.
Yeah, the real people. Not the millions of people they feed a year via outlets. They're just like the local people that need Lee Harding to cook for them.
Yeah, so it was kind of... Because obviously through lockdown, everyone had difficulties getting out and doing stuff, and people kind of cooped up. We wanted to offer something, keep busy.
I think deep down it's a selfish thing as well, though. We wanted to do something that got us out of the house and made us still like keep our identities. And I can say it for me, to get out of the house was to keep my identity because it's kind of a big deal. No, but I just wanted to do my thing. I wanted to get out there cooking.
Keeping people's minds.
Yeah, I wanted to keep cooking and not be in the storeroom doing some SEO. It was just not my idea of fun.
But also, I always had that excuse of before, I can't give up the wage, I can't do this, I've got this, I'm going to do this. And at this point, there was no excuses.
There was no wage.
There was no excuses. No. Yeah. So,
just to be clear, Lee didn't get sacked or anything for his job. He was an excellent employee.
Great employee.
It was more that he moved jobs and didn't have a job for you after the Rona, and it was a terrible thing.
I think
unfortunate situation.
It's on the website, and we've told the story quite often. Was a kind of lockdown was a big changing point in my career, and Tom's as well, really, because weddings going from booming to zero is madness, really, and the whole situation. But we didn't want lockdown or that kind of situation to stop us doing what we needed to do. So we got up out there, fight through the disease.
So from that, we started to do. We called it the Thomas the Caterer shop for a while, which was absolutely wrong. But it was just all based out of Thomas the Caterer, and I had loads of leftover stock and loads of stuff we could do, and it just felt right, but it was wrong to call it that.
That was the first couple of weeks, wasn't it? We kind of thought, we'll basically put a website together, we'll get some ice and cheese, we'll get Hamson Bakery.
Because we had the links into all the wholesalers that still had all the cheese to sell.
Veg suppliers, so people could place orders and come and collect from a safe spot, really.
And they did.
Because everyone was still really scared at that point.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to help the local community. We wanted to basically try and see if this thing would actually work. And it was a struggle. The first couple of weeks, we were making homemade ready meals that we froze down and people come and collected.
Yeah.
And they
were delicious.
Yeah. And we were kind of like, we want more.
Well, it wasn't itching the scratch, was
No.
it? It wasn't scratching the itch, I should say. It wasn't fulfilling the need. So we eventually decided to do pop-ups, with little, like every Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah. I say we started before that to start doing fakeaways. So we did nanfos.
Yeah,
So
I've been wiping these things from my mind.
that's why I written them down. It's right there.
I can't read your lovely lady handwriting.
Yeah, but we started doing that to kind of get more of like a cook at home kind of experience, because people couldn't enjoy the kind of delicacies of Nando's and Wagamamas and stuff like that. So we thought we'd bring a better version of it to town.
And that wasn't anything. Groundbreaking. There were people doing it.
Yeah,
but, it was just more accessible, and the fact that these two local idiots were doing it.
Yeah, quite.
Was fun.
It
We really
was
enjoyed
fun.
them actually. It was good.
And you even went behind camera as well, didn't you? And did a little cook along.
Yeah, we can put a bit of that in the
Yeah.
in the vid. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, you
It
did.
seems we're here again, and
You
this
did.
is my idea. So Tom, the fucking
camera guy.
extravagant extrovert.
Right. Our next guest.
Yes,
Who
I
is
think
it?
we should get our next guest. Today's guest is Harry Sutton. He is the assistant sommelier at Sat Bains. Harry's a dude. He's such a nice chap.
great guy.
He's a customer of ours here at Rustic. He is an advocate for what we do. He's here on his days off frequently, and has to drive 25 minutes to get here these days.
Loves the place. Always been a good basic follower of us and champions us to everyone that he speaks to. Really enjoys coming here, and his family as well. And he's been great to chat to.
Yeah.
Someone like really at the top of his game. Someone in a 2-star establishment that their standards are so high, and to impress someone of that ilk is very good. And to have a chat with him today will be great.
Yeah, let's get him on.
Let's do it.
Our guest today is most likely to be one of the youngest we'll ever have on the podcast, whilst working in one of the most highly accoladed establishments in the East Midlands. He's got more charm and charisma than a box of Lucky Charms, and with enough alluring patter and cheeky smiles to turn milk into cheese, or rather, grapes into wine. The casting crew searching for the next James Bond are banging on the doors downstairs to hire him and bestow the next 007 title on him. But before we let him go and ooze his charm on the big screen, we have to ask some questions to our guest today. Please welcome Harry Sutton, assistant sommelier at the 2-star Michelin star restaurant in Nottingham, Restaurant Sat Bains.
Thank you very much.
Now,
Thanks for
straight
having
off, before you say anything, did I get your title right?
Assistant head sommelier, yeah.
Yeah, your socials are up to date.
Yes,
done.
Yes.
Welcome along.
Just about.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you for
How are
having
you?
me. Very well. Yourself?
Yeah, very good.
Good.
Hectic day today. We're here.
Here, ready to do it.
Right then, Harry. I see something in front of us which tells a lot about you.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everyone a 30-second elevator pitch about what you do?
I am a sommelier at Restaurant Sat Bains, which is a 2 Michelin star restaurant. My day-to-day kind of role is serving amazing wines paired with the amazing food that we serve here. It's a pretty great job. You get to taste all the food, get to drink all the wine. It's not bad.
Perfect.
It's not bad. I've always got a headache, which is weird.
And the hangover.
that's it,
Hangover.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And how do you know Rustic Kitchen?
Oh, well, you're just down the road from where I used to live. I now live a little bit further out, but being just down the road from yourselves and hearing the hype about it, and I think I must have came when you first opened, like literally
You're one
the
of our
day.
long-standing customers, and
Yeah.
we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, and just seeing the queues outside the door and thinking,
Nice.
this place must be serious. And long and behold, it is. And I'm here every week, sometimes twice a week. And there was a point that you said, actually, I'm down 350 quid because I hadn't been for a month or so.
That's really true.
Yeah.
It's really true.
Yeah.
Never underestimate the value of your regulars.
Yeah.
All the people, so many people, they'll all go hand in hand through their pot's life.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It was just get a job, bit of pocket money.
Because you lived locally.
because I live locally. Yeah. I was actually just going into college for media,
All right.
studying media, and again, it wasn't my true passion. I enjoyed it, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Obviously, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a footballer. I wanted to do this, that, and the other. And then, working in the pots for must have been 5-6 months. Loved it. Ate everything. John and the team looked after me really well. And they're always struggling for numbers front of house. And John was like, "Oh, you seem chatty, smiley. Do you want to go front of house?" I was like, "Yeah, I can do. It's probably better than doing this all the time, getting a bit bored in the pots." And to be honest with you, when I first went front of house, it was horrific. It was
really?
it was so stressful. Obviously, it's a starred restaurant, a lot of pressure.
Going straight into a starred restaurant as well.
Yeah, exactly, and absolutely zero experience.
Yeah, so
16
you did
then.
nothing.
17.
17.
It must have been, yeah. And it was stressful. It was, such a small team, long hours, hard work, high pressure. And then for me, I think the real changing point was Pedro. You know Pedro.
Yeah.
Pedro come into the team. For me, I think was one of the first. Obviously, John was one of the first big figures in my life in terms of my career for pushing me and his passion, and he's always wanted me to do well, and he's always been there for me. So, but Pedro coming in, having that background of working in all these restaurants and knowing all his wine, and then he started to train the staff a little bit. Mm-hmm. For me, from there, when I started to understand how to talk to guests, how to present yourself, how to serve dishes, serve wine.
Because it's a big jump as well, because like a normal 17-year-old going into a pub environment,
Yeah.
it's completely different from Michelin standard.
Yeah.
It's like, that is one of the highest standards you can do. And being waited on front of house,
Yeah.
all eyes are pretty much on how you serve.
Yeah.
And like the service in John's house, like immaculate. Serves in Sat Bains, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And to go straight into that as a 17-year-old is so tough.
Yeah. Well, it was, like I say, that's why I didn't enjoy it to begin, because I didn't know what I was doing.
I guess
and it was.
well, you didn't have any experience in going to these restaurants either.
No.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I've always liked my food, but obviously I never had the money to go to these places. But Pedro to the team, he, raised the bar. And when I started learning, I started to enjoy it and become part of this like camaraderie of the team, felt part of it, felt more than just a team. It's like a family. And
I suppose then it doesn't become a job. It becomes more of a hobby, more of a career then.
lifestyle almost. Yeah.
Because it goes from, I'm just doing this till my media course is ready and I'm doing that at uni.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to turn into more of a career prospect rather than just kind of, let's get a few bits of money together and then I'll go to uni and do media kind of thing.
Yeah. And I think John and Pedro, were really good at saying, you can make a good career out of this. You can, kind of show me the paths I can go down. And then I remember being, 17 or whatever it was, Pedro be bopping around the table, serving wines to people and having a laugh. I was like, that looks quite fun. And I used to ask him, Pedro, why are you doing this wine with this dish? Why are you doing it with that? And he kind of took me under his wing. He's like, you see this young lad's quite passionate. He's interested. So he wants to invest his time into me learning, because you have other people in the team that are there for money and just are not interested.
That's crucial. Someone that wants to learn is just like gold.
Yeah.
Literally gold.
We've seen it 1,000 times. There's people that are there for the money, or just to time for money. And there's people that want to be there and want to learn and ears open, eyes open, listen.
Yeah. And I remember, Pedro would, at the end of the night, he'd say, "Oh boy, take this wine home. I want you to research it. I want you to drink it with your dad." So Dad absolutely loved it. and for me, I remember going into John and Pedro, like, I want to be a som. I want to do my courses. And John straight away was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Pay for your courses. Let's do it straight away." So for me, it was great. I was there for just under 6 years.
How long's that place been open then?
2015, I think it was.
So nearly 10.
Yeah, 2000. Sure, it was off the top of my head. 2015
Okay. Yeah, amazing.
or 14 was it?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's gone. I can't remember.
That's cool. That's cool. It's still,
I've drank too much wine. Can you not tell?
all those even today. Well, speaking of wine, I think you should crack it open.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Let's hear that
Dying of
patter
thirst.
I talked about.
Yeah,
So what have we got?
we have got a wine from Alsace. A wine from Dynamic Vines, who's a supplier that we actually use at Sats. and they're incredible. They're based in Bermondsey in London, and their kind of ethos of the wineries that they choose is kind of your natural wines. So your more kind of biodynamic producers, low intervention styles wines, which is really nice. I actually did a masterclass there last week with Emilio Pepe, who's a producer in Abruzzo, so just east of Rome in Italy. And it was incredible. We had a dinner there, tasted all these incredible wines, backdated vintages. And it's a pretty cool place. Really tasty wines, which we're about to find out. So
Cool.
get something in these glasses.
So just for the listeners, what's any tips you've got about opening a bottle of wine? What's the do's and don'ts about opening a bottle of wine?
Oh, sorry, I put myself first. So rude. So for me, what I've learned, I mean, this is in terms of the standards that we have to do it, of which I've not just displayed it to yourselves, but we do it on a table. It's a bit awkward here, but I would always have the bottle set on the table. Something that, again, I do now, just because I'm so used to doing it at work, is always keep the label face to people. But for basic opening, people tend to open the bottle right at the top here. Mm-hmm. Do it under, so you've got this kind of guideline. Super easy to get under. Take the foil off.
Does the foil normally go in your pocket?
Yeah.
Just asking.
Yeah.
Just asking, because it's those little things that, you're chatting away and you just slip it into your pocket.
Yeah,
and carry on.
Yeah.
Be a good pickpocket.
But generally, to be fair, we open stuff at our Somm station, so we don't really open bottles at tables and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think for the way we do things, presenting the bottle, facing the guest at all times, when we're serving wines, which again, I've probably not done it because I'm talking and getting distracted, but serve the bottle facing, label facing. Label facing.
Yeah.
But
And
these
then a little twist at the end as well, just so you don't
stop
get
the pour, which I'm still dreadful at because I had too much wine. But yeah, I think one of the things is, these little details that you learn, always keeping the label facing to the guests, that kind of stuff is this attention to detail you pick up from these top places and stuff like that. It's quite interesting.
So when you go out, I imagine you do go to these like other restaurants, and do you let on that you're a somm? A key word here is I'm not.
Somm, yeah, that's the one.
Do you let on you're a somm? Like, I know I keep stum that I'm a chef.
Yeah, I don't like going to places and being like, where I work.
Yeah,
because it's we get it all the time, and we like to think we look after everyone exactly the same. Obviously, sometimes people come in and you give them an extra glass of wine or that kind of stuff, which is nice to look after your own. But it's nice when they do know your industry, because they like to go the extra mile. But the places, these top end restaurants, they don't need to anyway. They're smashing it. So. Yeah.
Let's go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, it's cold.
It's a good somm joke, that is. So it's from Alsace.
So it's a Pinot Gris, called La Fromanto. So the main Joss Mayer is the producer. They've been producing wine since 1850, 1860. And it's two sisters that make the wine now, so still in the family. And they're working biodynamically since 2000. So this is coming from 40-year-old vines, Pinot Gris, hand-harvested, native yeast, indigenous yeast, sorry. So the natural yeast of the grape skins actually ferment the wine. So like I said, they're trying to do things as naturally as possible. Depending on vintage, it'll be stainless steel or old oak. I'd imagine this would be old oak. But it's got that beautiful kind of honeyed, pear, nutty character. I think it's just really tasty.
Yeah.
Magic. Let's go again. Just clearly, this is sort of how you sort of get inspired and research, because we believe heavily in that at Rustic Kitchen, and Lee actually taught me that more than anyone. I think that like it's all about preparation and research and understanding what you're about to do before you sort of go forth with an idea.
Yeah.
So is this a classic example of how you would do that, in that you would go to a merchant's or in fact to visit the vineyards or whatever? Yeah. How do you broaden your knowledge?
Yeah. So, obviously doing a lot of wine courses, which is the best thing. So you can do this thing, WSETs, Wine Spirits Education Trust. They just give you the real kind of foundation. I think with wine, it's really important to learn the foundations before you try and learn anything else, because you can read all these big wine words, malolactic fermentation, carbonic maceration, all these big words, and you think, well, if I don't know the foundations, how am I supposed to know what that means?
Yeah.
So you do these courses that's like this embedded of knowledge, and you understand it, and then you start speaking to suppliers. We're so lucky at Sats. We work with so many different suppliers that specialize in different areas, and they want to come and taste with us all the time, constantly emailing us. We want to come and do a tasting, got some new wines, tasting, and they're coming in with their knowledge, obviously, because they're dealing firsthand with the producers, and we're taking all that knowledge on. So I'd say, yeah, it's great to have the relationship with the producers, as you know, with your suppliers.
Yeah. I suppose when a dish is formed as well, you'll have the knowledge of each of these suppliers, and you can go to that. This wine will go. I tasted this wine 3 months ago. That would go perfectly with this.
Yeah.
And then that's when basically wine pairings would work with the foods. Like you taste the food, and he was like, right, I tasted this wine a couple of months ago, and it'll go absolutely perfectly with that.
Yeah.
You have that just knowledge, back knowledge of all the wines you've tasted.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we take, like I say, when we do a tasting, we take all these notes, and then we would go, when developing a dish, think, oh, this wine. Obviously, when Sat comes up with a dish, what happens is about a week before, 2 weeks before a dish goes live, he'll do it up for us, and he'll talk us through each one. And generally, our som team, so it's myself, Pete and Ed. Pete's their head som, and we'll taste the dish, and we'll have an understanding of what wines would work well with certain proteins and certain flavors in the dish that'll have a big impact on certain wines. And we have so many, wines in the cellar that we can taste, and we can get suppliers to send in bottles as well.
So is it the classic kind of red wine with like a hearty red meat kind of thing, white wine with fish, kind of chicken, pork? Is that still the rule, or is that?
It's a rule of thumb, but I mean, we've done dishes. One of my favourite things is red with white fish, and people. You serve it in the restaurant. People go, "What? I'm having the cod." Yeah, you have
Does it have to be a meaty fish though, like a cod, like a monkfish kind of thing?
Yeah, that definitely helps. But also, it's not just for me. I don't think it's just the protein in the dish. That's the most important. It's got to have other big flavours in the dish that's going to have an effect on the wine. Yeah. So in this particular one, we had loads of rich, earthy truffle. So we did like a soft wine. Obviously, we're not going to do like a massive Malbec or Cabernet Sauvignon that's going to just completely destroy the flavour of the cod or the monkfish. But something that's elegant, soft tannin, so soft on the palate, but still got quite a bit of character, a bit of kind of mushroomy, earthy flavour that's going to work with that truffle in the dish.
So it has to work with the food, doesn't it? It can't overpower the food ever.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly. And sometimes it's really quite interesting to see how a dish can make a wine better, or vice versa, which is quite, I say, make it better. It just enhances the flavours of the dish. I remember one of the best pairings I ever had was at Hyde in London, and we had a scallop dish and truffle. Scallop even more so because they're like a little bit sweet, meaty. I was thinking, you're getting a white here, surely. And he comes over, pours a glass, he covered it up because he was looking after us, and we got talking the industry. He poured this glass of wine. It looked like a very aged wine. It was like red, but completely like tawny, like brown almost. And it was a 1969 Barolo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it was the wine. And the funniest thing about it, the wine was essentially out of condition. Like, it was way past its best. He said, if I was serving this as a bottle to a table, I wouldn't serve it. But just because we're doing a pairing, we're having a bit of fun, I'm going to do it with this dish. And honestly, I was speechless. I was like, I can't believe how well that worked. So essentially out of condition wine with this dish. It was mind blowing.
Barolo's quite sweet, isn't it, as well, no?
No, Barolo's so the grape variety is Nebbiolo, and the skins are very thin. So just like a Pinot Noir, but actually they extract a lot of tannins. So when they're young, it's like dries your mouth out.
Okay.
Completely like melt your face tannins, and high acidity as well. But when they age, they get softer and softer. Okay. But what you're probably getting that sweetness from is the fruit. A lot of people confuse sweetness in wine with fruit. The wine will have no sugar, but it'll be, that beautiful kind of sour cherries, strawberries, that kind of thing that will make the wine feel sweet. Like this, for me, this is quite ripe, but this is a completely dry wine. But some people, you'll
delicious,
serve this in a
folks.
restaurant and they'll go, that's sweet, but actually no, it's a dry wine.
I'm actually finding it hard to concentrate.
I mean, this is 18%. Not really.
So you're working at John's house. When was the time when you thought, I love it here, but it's time to move on? It's time to just broaden your horizons.
Yeah. So I mean,
It's got to be a tough decision, right?
It was,
Like,
yeah.
they've
And I
must be
chose
giving
the
you a
worst
lot.
time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Worst
I
time.
asked the wrong question, folks.
No. So my mate Lewis, he went to Sats as a chef, and he went, and I was thinking about sending my CV, and COVID happened.
All right.
So I was like, best hang fire. Don't know what's going on. And midway through COVID, Sat was doing the Sat Bains, that van that he does with the curries. And I went to see Lewis because he was working on there, and Amanda was there, Sat's wife. Obviously, he was very involved with the restaurant, the boss.
Yeah.
Him and her and Sat. And I got talking to Amanda. I saying, how's things at the restaurant and blah de blah.
In classic Harry style.
Classic Harry style. Yeah, chatting rubbish.
Harry style. Wait, look at that.
And she said to Lewis, he's a nice lad. And Lewis said, he was actually thinking about coming to Sats, but obviously what happened, and she went, let's get his numbers, let's speak to him. And it happened there, and it was obviously still lockdown, but coming towards the end, and I thought, this is the opportunity I've got. And I remember one of the biggest things for me was ringing Pedro when I found out, because I was essentially like Pedro's right hand at John's house, and I was thinking, I'm going to ring him, he's going to say, don't go, stay with me, make his life easier, he makes my life easier, that kind of thing. And he just went, go, you need to go. And for me, as soon as he said that, I was like, that's it. So I handed my notice in to John, which was tough. Obviously, he looked after me so well over those years. And again, he was the same. He's like, mate, you're going to broaden your horizons at some point and go for it, smash it.
Yeah. Normally, you're really proud of people that move and go on to big and better things, but it is because it's further up in those stars. But, you're always very proud to think, well, he's going to go and smash it at this place where we've helped him to get there. That's really cool.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's laddies. Everyone's helping each other, aren't they? It's like you pass on your knowledge to younger people, and you hope in the end they're better than you. That's what you want, really. You want to pass on your knowledge, and then hopefully they strive and go forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's your key to your success, do you think?
I think my passion. I think my passion and desire to learn is, my hunger to learn is, I'd say, why, my career path's on this kind of trajectory.
Yeah.
I think for me, the passion is the most important. I think if you're in this industry and you're not passionate, it will just consume you. The hours, the stress, the pressure. And it's just something, like I say, it's my job, but I don't see it fully like it's my job. It's like not like a burden to go to work. I enjoy going to work. And I think for that, if it's your passion, then you're going to learn and you're going to progress.
Regarding you said about pressure there, that pressure to Michelin star place must be sky high. I come to eat at Sats a couple of months ago, over December. No one shows pressure there. Everyone's cool as a cucumber. The service is unbelievable, literally unbelievable. How do you put that kind of front on, even though you're having a bad day, you're struggling through a day, because everyone has it.
Yeah.
How do you still perform to that high kind of caliber?
I think just smile and wave. No.
Like the penguins.
I think, what's lucky, we've got an amazing team, both at John's house and at Sats. The teams are incredible. And I think, everyone's got their back. So if someone's suffering, someone's made a mistake, everyone's there to back you up. Yeah. And it's like I say, it's a family. It's not like every man's in it for himself. And yes, you have your bad moments, but you shine through by, I don't know, just enjoying it. You've got to enjoy the bad times as well as you do the good. I know that sounds strange, but it's going to happen.
It's probably one of the best things about hospitality, really.
Yeah.
Because people can have bad days, but at the end of the day, it doesn't work without a team.
Yeah.
Like, none of this would ever work. hospitality, it's not just one person doing it.
Yeah.
It never is. There's always 5-6 people in the back, 5-6 people out front, the people upstairs. There's so many people that make the food come to the table and everyone to enjoy it.
Just wish that all the consumers could appreciate that. You know, sometimes a lot of people don't understand hospitality.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
You know, they think that a lot of people make out it's so easy and all this, that, and the other. It's like,
Yeah, I say we've touched on it before. Like people see it as a stepping stone, not a career. When it could be a hell of a career for a lot. It is a hell of a career for a lot of people,
yeah,
and it fulfills a lot of people's life really because they make people happy.
Yeah.
That's what we do, kind of thing, and that should be kind of applauded rather than kind of it's a stepping stone. So
yeah. It's always a shame to see it as a stepping stone. And I do think that, you know, a lot of kids, especially in the younger generation that are growing up, and a lot of people I know that have never worked in restaurants or customer facing jobs, and I think it's such an important skill to learn. I think being in hospitality, being in these pressures, dealing with different people, dealing with problems, dealing with stress, it doesn't matter. Yes, even if it is a stepping stone, it's a life skill. It'll take you
it is
anywhere. I think it's really important for kids, especially coming out of school, to try and get a job in hospitality, and what they need is someone above them or training them to be like, this is where it can go. I think that's a lot of the problem is I had it at John's house with Pedro and John, like, this is where your career could go. But I think a lot of it in restaurants, you know, your pubs, that kind of thing, people don't say you could go here, you could do that, you could go there, you can travel the world.
Yeah.
Meet all these amazing chefs, celebrity chefs, wine tastings, going to wine trips.
Yeah.
It really can happen all over the world. It's fantastic, you know, just from being able to cook.
Yeah.
Like, cool. All right. You're giving me a job on a boat?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I'm 19. Okay, I'm coming though. Packed my bags 2 weeks later, I was there.
There you go.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's so many opportunities in hospitality for that. And especially if you want to see like further than your county, then it's an amazing place. I mean, that's a great question. So without handing your notice into Sat, you know, do you think you'll go further afield? Do you sight set on, or is it more focused on Sats get 3 stars?
Yeah, I think, you know, I think they definitely could. I've actually, in the process of looking, I've spoken to Sat and Amanda about it, and what's great about them, again, because I've built this relationship with them, I've been there for 3 years. You know, they've always said, you know, if anyone's ever thinking of going, you know, use us for help. We work with, well, we know everyone in the industry, near enough, everyone in this caliber anyway. So I spoke to them a couple of weeks ago. I think I want to go to London. So I'm actually in the mix of sorting out some
£50 down.
Best come back a lot.
Get another customer.
I'll be back every month. Don't
Notes
worry.
yourself, new customers.
So yeah, he's talking to a couple of people down there and going to sort out some trials actually for the end of this month.
Exciting.
Yeah, so I think
Really exciting.
for me, like I say, Sats, where else really, unless I go up north, Moor Hall or Longclume and stuff like that. And it's not, you know, it's not chasing accolades. It's just working in restaurants that I think are pretty serious and that are going to benefit me in terms of my growth and what I'm going to learn. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, they are, you know, I can certainly speak from like the Roux Scholarship side of things, that connection there is massive, you know, in terms of like, and all of the people that just meet up 2-3 times a year for the heats and the finals and stuff. And they're all networking, you know, so that mix up with, you know, used to hang out with the Roux brothers 3 times a year, if not more. You know, that's wicked.
Yeah.
You know, sadly they've all gone, but you know, like that cool core of people that have all just got connections. So you'd be
they're
mad
like the
not
top
to,
of the top,
not
aren't
to
they,
talk
in terms
to
of
them about progression.
Yeah.
What would you say to a young person now that's trying to get into hospitality then?
I'd say definitely do it. You got to get through. You're going to have a lot of stressful times. It's going to be a lot of pressure. Well, even in, you know, like your normal pubs, there's still going to be pressure.
Yeah.
There's still going to have problems.
Absolutely.
You're still going to deal with, you know, idiot customers. I say go through it, learn, be open-minded, and don't give up. Don't give up. Which I've had times where I just think, this is just ridiculous. Certain hours you're doing, the stress, is it all worth it? But yeah, it is. You when you finish on a Saturday night, you have a beer with all the guys and you think, this is what we do. And we all have a joke about that horrific service we've just had. And you think this is why it's all worth it.
And the next day, start afresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's always
the great
that.
thing about
The next
it's
day,
kind of
start afresh.
Yeah.
anything that goes on. You have a beer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's it done.
Yeah.
Boxed, finish, start again next day.
Is it-
Everyone's friends again.
Is it the only sector where it's really, really normal just to drink a pint, like in the kitchen whilst you finished work? Like, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, I love this beer. And you're still working, like washing down. I used to, with the Hammer and Princes, it was a pint of Bitburger. I don't know if they probably don't serve that anymore, but, you know, with the, I'm not going to say it, with a soap and some water. I'm not going to say that.
You know what you're going to say.
And clean down and just like sip that German beer and think how delicious it is and how hard you've worked for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. It was a good memory, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
It's a good memory. It's a good memory. Oh, wow. Now, I'm going to ask a really basic question here, but do you ever carry food?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was snow, but.
Yeah.
So let me overcome that and get. So, what would a shift look like then? There's two sittings a day.
No,
Is that-
one.
Oh, it's only evening.
So we're actually in the process of going back to doing lunches again.
Okay.
But just for a dinner menu, so 3 courses, and that'll be only served in the chef table and kitchen bench. So that'll be just a chef serving food, and us serving. One som will be allocated to those tables just to serve wine. Obviously, we won't be taking food there. But in the evening, we have 3 sections. So we call it Alpha, Bravo, and Delta. We didn't call it Charlie because there were so many Charlies that worked in the kitchen. And if you called Charlie, all the chefs would be running over. But you have one chef de rang, which is a waitress or waiter, as you probably know, and a sommelier assigned to that section. So the focus is on 4, maximum for us 5 tables. So you can spend time at the tables, which I think is really important. And service for Sat and Amanda is such a massive thing. Obviously, Sat is a chef-led restaurant. He's a chef. But Amanda, you know, she's got the eye for detail and she wants the service to be top notch. And you want us to spend time at the tables, want us to talk to guests. If they have any questions, you know, you have that time. Rather than if you're on a massive section, 10 tables, you're bopping around, not got time to talk to anyone. You lose that touch of service. So yeah, we only have to look after 4 or 5 tables. If this chef de rang's busy, I'll take a dish out for them. Unless I'm going down on my wine, which is probably the case.
Okay, so you are obviously working as a team with your job comes as priority, obviously, that you're going to pour the wine.
Yeah.
And they're going to.
Yeah, if I've got to explain the wine on a wine pairing, it's like, I can't take that dish, sorry.
And also, I mean, I've not been yet, but there's a detailed description of like when the chef de rang brings the plate, there's, you know, this is.
Yeah.
They'll talk you through the dish, whatever it might be. Yeah. But similarly with the wine as well, different courses. Okay.
And you've just introduced a new course, haven't you, where you have a course in the greenhouse as well, which is great.
World class.
It's absolutely great. We went in, they've got a pizza oven just outside the greenhouse and do a little... Can you explain the dish? I can't remember what the dish was.
Yeah, so it's like a garden pizza. So they make a pesto with all the herbs and greens that they have in the greenhouse, which obviously on the night when you're there, you'll see them all there. And there'll be one chef with you and they'll talk you through all the different herbs they've used in the pesto. Really good Mani olive oil, top quality Mani olive oil, and then aged Parmesan, which they just absolutely cane about 3 kilos of it on there.
Literally is.
It's
you have
incredible.
a nice little beer with that as well, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's a nice break from.
So you get up from the
restaurant.
table halfway through, like how many courses in?
5 courses.
So a nice leg stretch
5,
as
6,
well in a 3-hour, 4-hour stint, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get up, stretch your legs, go outside,
Yeah.
breathe fresh air and then into the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Have this unbelievably theatrical course.
Yeah.
And come back down. What are you going to top that with then?
It was incredible. It was Sat's idea after post lockdown when we did we did a refurb, and Sat was like, I want to do a dish where we take them away from the table. Like I said, I think it's important because you spend, you know, doing these tasting menus. If you're doing the 15 course, you could be there for nearly 4 hours. Yeah. You sat in one place for 4 hours, get a bit twitchy, a bit agitated. So the idea,
I would love that because you get out, you revitalise.
yeah. And it's great because it's like a break, but it's not because you get more food and more drink. It's like the best break ever. Yeah.
Also, it's a break for you guys as well.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling just for about 10 minutes, you've got 10-minute free table there, so you can
get them out, reset.
Yeah. So backstage stuff. Then they go out, crumb down,
change glasses, fold the napkins.
Yeah.
A little tinker.
Yeah. The little tinker. It's the little tinker, isn't it? Yeah. But that's what makes it like that extra little. Well, that's what 2-star is, a 3-star even, a 4-star, whatever, like there wasn't a 4-star. I know that, just to be clear. But that it's that exemplary service of like those things that you don't notice, a napkin drops on the floor, you pick up. When I was 18, I went to a restaurant, Gordon Ramsay, and it was all the restaurant that went with us. The restaurant, all the people that worked at the restaurant. And Linda, who owned the restaurant, knocked over a glass of fizz. You've never seen anything like this, chaps. It was a round table. They cleared the table without us seeing the tablecloth, seeing the tabletop, laid the table with us all still sat round it in minutes flat.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. And I was just like, "Wow, that is service. It's another level."
I went to Hand and Flowers and someone spilt some Prosecco and it hit Katie's dress, like just a little bit down the side. And the amount of people literally rushed, cleaned up instantly.
Yeah.
There was a service charge for your dry cleaning instantly there, and it was just literally like we were doing like it was unbelievable. They just cleaned up.
They paid for the
dry cleaning, and they paid for like there was just like so sorry, and just cleaned up instantly. There was no kind of what's happened here. It was like everyone on it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Has there been any situations like that you can regale? Sorry.
I was just thinking.
Just remembering
not really,
that.
a few like breakages, like as soon as we hear something drop, as soon as we hear something drop, we're straight over there, straight in there. But I think one of the things like that, like the stories you both said, for me was at Core by Claire Smith. For my 21st, I remember eating there, and they had all these kind of canapes, their snacks to begin, and they have like all rocks and pebbles and stones and all these different things on there
that you can eat.
No, well, things on there that you can eat, but they were like the decorations. I remember it was on a different table, but I was facing it, and one of the waiting staff dropped it and smashed it everywhere, like stones. It was a right mess. Like it would have been a disaster. Just been like, oh no. And it was like 4 of them walked around, and like in one sweep, it was like they almost continued walking, and it just went away. I've just never seen anything. I was like, that is magic.
That's the Vino talking.
Yeah. Well, arguably, I did have about 3 bottles of wine. But yeah.
No, but it would have been, though. They would have been so slick at it that you just would
I
have.
was just like, wow.
Magical. It's like a swan or something, Yeah. That's what they say, isn't it? Do you ever hear that analogy? Like service is like a swan, like graceful above.
Yeah.
You're kicking like the fucking clappers into me. Like you're going, I'm fucking graceful, and actually, shit. See, he's noticed my glasses. Champs.
How are you doing over there?
How are you doing, producer Adam?
Oh, I can do some more. Thank you.
Life is terrible.
So on
This gig I've ever had.
on tasting menus, you get wine pairings throughout the meal. How is that judged? Of how much wine do you give the guest? What percentage of wine do you give the guest? So at the end of a 12 course, they're not absolutely hammered.
Yeah, obviously it's tried and tested. But no, what we don't want is guests to be uncomfortable. And if it was me, if people pour in big 175 mils, if it was there, I'd drink it. I've not got a problem, by the way. It's just if
I'm
it's
the same. I'm like, well, I don't need to drink.
No, it's just
It's not
one
a
of
problem
those.
if you like it.
You don't want it to be too much. Obviously, what you got to take into account, there's food and a lot of it, rich food, and wine's quite rich as well. And so we don't want it to be too much, but also you don't want to feel tight. So our pairings are 70ml measures, so they're small glasses of wine. But obviously, it's all about little and often, just like the tasting menu. Your main course, which is a more substantial course, bigger course, then we do a bigger glass of wine, 125, and then your desserts are all 50ml. So it's, don't get me wrong, there's wine, but it's not like what we don't want is people crawling out the restaurant, which we've had, but that's just uncontrollable.
So, I believe it was at John's house, but I was pretty smashed when I left. You got the old little plank there with the. I'm sure they lined them up now.
Yeah.
Is that still happening?
No, not anymore.
Doesn't it happen?
That was
Okay.
when I was there.
That
yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
That was great. I remember that was lovely. But the what's etiquette as a diner if you've got some left and you've finished your meal, do you just neck it? Do you leave it? Like, what would is there a right? I guess it's not right and wrong, but just tell us what your.
I mean, I
point
would
is.
neck it. No, no, just enjoy it. Obviously, yeah, I'll just take my time with it. I think if you're in no rush, obviously, if you're the last guest in there, I think, I'm either necking it or leaving it. But I think you should. Wine's not there to be necked. It's to be
absolutely.
enjoyed.
Yeah. So if they've like gone, oh, I love that one, and you're moving on, I don't know. For example, they said, can I just have some more of that? Was that okay? Would you just encourage them to move on, or just putting scenarios out there?
We'd say you can have a glass. Obviously, you pay for a glass, but there is more wine to come, and you like this one, but you might enjoy the next one better.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's not about. What frustrates me with wine pairings is people order it because they think that people don't actually care about wine; they just want to get drunk. So they think, oh, wine pairing, yeah, let's get stuck in. And then you're serving these 70ml measures, and they're like, can I have some more? It's like, no, that's not how the wine pairing is. Why don't you just order like 4 bottles, and you can drink as much as you want, and leave them on the table.
It's supposed to be a story, isn't it? It's supposed to be kind of a journey through the meal rather than
people getting stuck in.
Yeah.
But
It's not the pub.
yeah, exactly. And I'd say
It's not the
probably
club,
98% of the guests get that. They're there for the taste and the experience. It's that 2% that just want to get stuck in. But fair play to them.
What's your favourite dish on the menu at the minute?
I would say.
Not that we know. Well, Lee does. He's been recently, but I have no clue what.
Well, to be fair, it's physically not on at the minute, but it always comes on and off. It's like it's not a seasonal dish as such, because obviously Sats is often dictated by seasonality, but it's smoked teal. Okay. So Devonshire smoked teal. It's like diced up at the bottom with a Granny Smith apple, sourdough croutons, and then a smoked eel mayonnaise, all like bound together. Pickled turnip rings, and then like a truffle sauce. It is different.
And what wine goes with that?
We've done a few Rieslings with that.
Yeah.
We actually done a Pinot Gris by Joss Mayer, but different cuvee. We did a Grand Cru with that.
Now, Riesling and this one isn't too far from each other, right?
Not
Not a million miles
not a
away.
million miles away. Grown in the same areas.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
That's why I did that.
Have you got your questions? We've got a pop quiz going on.
A half-drunk pop quiz.
I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, so...
Just before, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Where are you supposed to hold the wine glass for different wines? As in, if you have a red, you're meant to cup the glass. If you have a white, you're meant to hold the stem.
All wines like this. You don't want to mess, unless obviously the wine's freezing cold. If a white wine was freezing cold, then I feel like it should be served a little bit warmer. I would warm it up in my hands, but no, you always hold your wines like this.
That's a pet peeve of mine, is people that hold Prosecco glasses. I'm like, the stem's there for a reason! To keep your Prosecco cold! It does make me crazy.
My friend holds his Prosecco glass like this.
Oh yeah.
Is that the proper way?
No.
Exactly.
Carlton?
On camera.
No, that's like you see people at wine tastings like giving it all this with their little finger out. But no, just I'd like
Give it a shush.
I'd like a true geezer.
Like a geezer.
2-star.
Yeah, you watch it. All right, then, let's hit us with these questions then.
First of all, who's going to win?
Oh, well, it's over 12 weeks.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're on a draw at the minute. We were absolutely atrocious last time.
It was 1-1.
I think you'll be good at these ones.
1 out of 5.
I didn't do them too wine nerdy because I feel like it's just stupid. So I've done a couple of restaurant ones. Are you ready?
Ready.
Perfect. So in what decade was the first 3 Michelin star awarded in the UK? And bonus, if you know the restaurant. Can we do bonus points? Is that allowed?
You can do
Yeah,
bonus
yeah.
point. Adam does the scoring anyway, so we don't care.
I'm going to say the 90s.
No, I'm going to say the 70s.
Ooh,
It was the 80s, wasn't
it's
it?
the 80s.
I was going to say.
And what's the one for the
Restaurant.
Restaurant, the Waterside Inn.
Is it Marco Pierre White's?
La Gavroche.
Damn it! It was another Rude brother. Come on, half a point for that. It was in the family, man.
Did not get half.
Adam, half a point. See, we're crap, aren't we?
Just guessing.
This one might be quite difficult, but I can do like an A, B, or C if that makes sense. So,
Write it down then.
Okay.
in what region in France has sold the most expensive bottle of wine ever recorded? Would you like me to give an A, B, or C, or do you want to give it a guess?
Yeah, give an A, B, and C.
I've written
Okay.
my answer down. I'm still having A, B, and C. I'm just going to see if I really knew.
So I'll say A, Alsace, B, Bordeaux, C, the Rhone Valley, or D, Burgundy.
Okay.
B.
B,
Yeah.
C.
D. Burgundy.
I used to live in Burgundy.
Really?
Yeah. Used to
Amazing-
cruise.
amazing wines.
My boat job was lovely. I drank a lot of those wines.
They're incredible. I just can't
Was it
afford
the most
them. They're just so
expensive?
good. So it
No,
was.
clearly not. They were really cheap for me. You had to buy a thing and got paid for it.
You won't believe how expensive it was. This isn't part of the quiz, but what would you guess? What would you for a bottle?
A bottle. When was it sold? When?
So it was early 2000s, I think it was sold, or mid 2000s when it was sold.
It's got to be north of 20 grand.
I'm going to say 100 grand.
You're both miles away. So it was a 1945 Romani Conti, and it sold for just a little over $585,000. 1945.
And the tax on wine in France is very low as well. So in England, the same money, you're talking a lot. Well, 30%, 40% on top of that. Jesus.
That's not.
Scary, isn't it?
It is scary.
Someone
You
can
know.
buy that.
And open it.
And drink it and then pee it out.
It'd probably be
pissing
off as
money.
well. I think obviously the rarity of that particular vintage, end of the war, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So even if they didn't open it, it's like they've got a bottle from.
Was that just one bottle? Was that... So there was, I assume, several
there would have been.
bottles of-
Yeah,
Was that the last
Like-
one of it?
I believe so. I need to look further into it, but I'd imagine it was.
Nice research, Harry.
No, thank you. As you can see, I'm very prepared.
Okay, so still no points, right?
Still no points. Right, so another winey one, and then we got a couple of. Got another restaurant one, then another wine one. So, what is the world's most planted grape variety? Wine variety. And do you want a clue?
Yeah.
'Cause that is it. Think Bordeaux. Did that help?
No, probably not.
Do you want to do it A, B, and C?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, A, Merlot. B, Malbec. C, Cabernet Sauvignon.
It's never what I write down, is it? Hey, what? Give me the options
A,
again.
Merlot. B, Malbec. C, Cabernet Sauvignon.
You're a good quizmaster, though, to be
Really?
fair. Like, you're doing this on the hoof and actually remembering what you said. Producer Adam's looking
Completely
up on
winging
Google
I was
right
actually
now.
thinking C, but I'm going to go A.
Yeah, I think A too.
Should have gone C.
Cabernet. Cabernet what? Was it?
Cabernet Franc. No, it's
Cabernet
not.
Franc.
Cabernet Sauvignon, sorry.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Cabernet
I was
Sauvignon.
thinking
What am I
that
about?
before you actually said that, and then
I've drank so much Merlot, though, that I just had to put A.
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I was like,
So this one. How many Michelin star? 3 Michelin star restaurants are there in the UK?
oh, should write it down. Okay, I think I've got it.
If you can name them all, surely that's worth an extra point.
I'm going to say, you write yours down.
I've written 2 down. Go on then.
6,
6. You think there's 6?
essentially.
Shit. I think there's 3, but I can only name 2.
So I can tell you.
I can name 4. Fat
Butcher.
Duck,
Yeah.
Waterside,
Yeah.
Long Clue,
Yeah.
Core.
Yeah.
Restaurant Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. And there's
The
another
last
one.
one.
There's another one, isn't there?
So there's actually 9.
Is there really? Holy smokes!
Yeah.
It's one of the Japanese restaurant that's tiny.
No.
There's just a
That was a 3-star. That was called the
Ledbury.
Iraqi or something like Ledbury.
Ledbury.
Yeah. So the 9: Longclume, Ledbury, Core by Claire Smith, Alain de Ross, Alain de Casse, Fat Duck, Waterside, Sketch, and Restaurant Gordon Ramsay.
I want that Sketch. I wouldn't have got that.
No, I wouldn't have got any of them.
Sketch was
Core and Restaurant Gordon
years
Ramsay.
ago.
I forgot about the Fat Dog.
Is
They were my
that
three.
Sketch at Grange? Is that Sketch Grange?
Sketch Grange.
Yeah.
It's in Mayfair. It's that
Where is it?
really cool. Like, I mean, it's really quite cool. They've got like loads of different bars. It's like quite wacky in there. And the toilets are eggs. You go into like a little egg pod.
Do you?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
What, like Mork?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I was saying Mork and Mindy. Nanu, I'm going for a poo. You don't know what I'm on about.
I haven't got a clue.
Do you know what I'm on about? Oh, God. Right, that's why he put in the clip of Mork and Mindy when he gets in his thing. That's all for now. Nanu, when he gets in his egg and flies off. It's wicked. It's Robin Williams' like first TV show. Oh, man.
Is that a point per answer? Or did no one get anything then?
No. If they had named all 9, if they got 9, they would have got a point.
Right, okay.
No
But I was
points.
going to give an extra point for the 9.
So there's 0 each.
Yeah.
So far.
0-0.
Do you know what? I thought you were going to get more than this because this last one's quite difficult.
You never know. You never know.
Waste of time.
I like the fact that it's even still.
I like the fact we're crap.
Oh, this one's difficult. So, what is the oldest wine producing country? And a little hint,
Oh,
don't think what you would think, which would be France
Yeah.
and Italy
Tom.
and Spain. You got it?
Syria.
New
Is it
Zealand.
Is it a Persian country?
It is Georgia.
Fucking the next door, aren't they?
You weren't a million miles away.
Yeah.
You
half a point?
You are still none.
Half a point? You got a full point now.
I did get a full point.
No, you got a half point earlier, didn't you?
Did I?
No, you didn't.
No.
I made that too difficult.
He's just given me half a point there, though. Because it's like, now you got a
He
full
didn't.
point. He did. He definitely did.
So is it 0-0 or 0.5?
I'd say 0-0.
Oh,
I'd say 0-0.
You're not coming back for series 2.
Oh,
When you were at Ledbury.
Well, that was awesome. That was good laughs, if anything else.
Yeah, it
Just to
was
laugh at
fun.
ourselves. And
honestly, I thought you were going to get 1 or 2.
so did we. So did we. We always think that. We think we hit a
Honestly-
full house.
I thought I was confident with the 3 stars, but
How many do you think there was? 6.
6, yeah.
I'm clearly like not as confident in the UK food scene because I thought there was 3.
Yeah.
There's loads more than I thought. 9.
So many 2 and 1 stars
Yeah,
as well.
loads of 2s. Loads of 2s.
The food scene in the UK is incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, hospitality scene. It's not just
Hospitality.
food, is it? Because it's about the service and the wine.
Yeah,
as
of
well.
course.
Harry, thank you so much for coming along. Where could our listeners find you if they wanted to reach out? If the most amazing employers looking for a head som, where can they find you? You're going to search on LinkedIn or
Yeah, I'm
reach
on,
out on your social media. How could people contact you if
LinkedIn.
you even want them to?
yeah, of course, that's fine. You can do social media, Instagram, has.sutton98.
I think that's probably the year he was born, which makes us feel very old.
Yeah. No, thank you very much for having me. It's been good
thank
fun.
you very
you.
much. That's really, really, really great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. He's a lovely chap, isn't he?
Oh, Harry, he's great.
You know that he's just going to do so well, though. He's got
Knows
the
his
right
beans.
attitude, knows his beans.
Knows his beans
he's
with the
he's a
wine as
young
well. He's
expert.
a definite expert.
I say he's young. He's 26 or something, right? But he just to me just
That's
seems
young
like
to
a little
me.
boy.
It's young to me.
I said he was going to be the youngest ever guest, but he might not be. But he's just young. Right at the start of that special part in his career where he's going to go and do some special things and all the
He's
best
always
to him.
aiming to improve as well, as he said on the podcast that he's at a 2-star place now, but he's looking to move and and we know he's got some trials.
Podcast exclusive.
Podcast exclusive. Heard it here first, guys.
That's probably the only place I'll hear it. Fantastic. Well, look, if you've enjoyed this podcast, we'd love you to do all those things that you're meant to do at the end of a YouTube video and a subscription-y, call to action-y thing where you hit
Is
the
it
like
under here?
button. Oh yeah.
Will it be under there?
When you're
want
taking
to do that?
your
Okay.
coat off and your
Yeah.
high heels, you just put it here.
He's
there's
got
some sort of-
honestly, got some flashy sunglasses on today, guys.
It looks like Dane
He's
Edna.
got- it's getting a bit out of hand, but
Say, Possum, when you've finished editing it, could you put it? Oh, that's the wrong accent. Anyway, like,
who was
subscribe,
that?
tell your friends. We're here to stay. This is episode 2. Dane Edna Average. This is episode 2 of the What's the Story Hash Brown Glory podcast. And Lee's going to do the honors.
Cut.